How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, one of them videos, this some juicy shit. It's real sweet, very tasty, very, very tasty. I told y'all I would stay on top of this. So, it's been a week. I've done 2 videos about this bullshit, and the Speaker of the House in Tennessee, and he was covering for his partner, and also found out he was a part of them racist, nasty text messages. But let's keep in mind, once they realized that in those text messages that he was exchanging back and forth to his partner, he always trying to cover for, they wanted to do something once they started degrading white women. So just keep that on your frontal lobe. So I have a couple of videos. I have an article that's very long. I'm gonna read just bits of it, but we're gonna jump into this video because this shit is sweet. So, Tennessee Republicans declare they lost faith in House Speaker Glen Casada. Well, let's hear what he had to say.
Tennessee House Speaker Glen Casada is signaling he's not stepping down, even after a majority of House Republicans voted for a resolution declaring they have no confidence in him. WPLN's Sergio Martinez Beltran reports it's unclear what happens if Casada decides to hold on to his position.
The vote is unprecedented, and Casada says he is disappointed in the results, but he says he will spend the next few months working to regain the confidence of his colleagues. William Lambert, the House Majority Leader, says there's a question about what happens if Casada doesn't step down voluntarily.
And at best, the answer to that question is it's very murky. There is not a clear-cut mechanism on the House floor to remove a speaker.
Lambert is part of the growing number of Republicans asking Casada to resign, adding to the pressure for the speaker to make the decision himself. One of the latest leaders is Scott Golden, the chairman of the Tennessee Republican Party. He says Casada should allow someone else to restore the trust. For WPLN News, I'm Seth.
All right, so what a difference a day make. Tennessee House Speaker to resign. I like that shit. He got the pimp hand. Ain't that sweet? Ain't that juicy? Ooh, real juicy. So in this long ass article that I will leave for the royal family, I will read this portion of it. Tennessee embattled House Speaker Glen Casada announced Tuesday he planned to resign from his leadership post following a vote of no confidence by his Republican caucus, amped a scandal over explicit text messages. The move is unprecedented in Tennessee modern political era. The last Senate Speaker resignation came in 1931, and in 1893 a House Speaker declined to resign and his office was declared vacant, according to the legislative liberal Eddie Weeks. When I return to town on June, I will meet with the caucus leadership to determine the best date for me to resign as Speaker so that I can help facilitate a smooth transition, Casada said in a statement. You know what I hate about this shit? These motherfuckers be wrong, and they still, when they fire them, they always throw that word resign. That's to still make it look like they still have the control. They pull that shit all the time, but when it's us, we outright fire. And I got a video that I'm gonna show y'all the difference when somebody has an unquote power position, where when it comes to them they resign, but when it comes to us, when it comes to them they resign, and when it comes to us we just outright get fired. So he got the pimp hand. You know, I'm running this shit over here and stuff. So his folks don't have no confidence in him. You know, he was talking all that shit yesterday what a difference again a day makes. So I got another video here for the royal family to listen to. It's about a little over 6 minutes.
Should resign completely? Do you think he should leave the State House completely?
Serving in the legislature will be up to his constituents. My thought is that Glen Casada needs to resign his speakership, and he needs to resign immediately. His position in the legislature will ultimately be up to his constituents. It's hard for me to see a scenario where Glen Casada could serve as only a representative, given where he's been in leadership over the past several years.
What has disappointed you the most?
This whole session has disappointed me. I know a lot of my colleagues have talked and bragged about how great a session this was, and there was some good work that was done. But I go back to the beginning of session when rules were changed to limit debate on the House floor. We had no personal orders. We had no ability to talk about issues of the day. Microphones were cut off. Doors were locked. Throughout the committee system, people's opportunity to speak in committees was thwarted, and very strategically on strategic issues, and it came from the Speaker's office.
Yeah.
So I've been very disappointed from leadership from day one that this session began in January.
What was yesterday like?
Yesterday was surreal. I've never experienced anything like that. It was, there were more calm voices than I expected. I thought that there might be some heated debates or heated conversations. There was not a lot of back and forth as we had our caucus meeting yesterday. Very thoughtful comments were made in a very peaceful manner. It will be interesting today that we saw yesterday there were 24 people who sided with Speaker Casada and did not create a vote of no confidence. I'll just about guarantee you that today that number will be in single digits. Some of the folks who cast a non-public vote will now publicly say that they have condemned Casada and asked him to resign all along.
Why did you turn on him so quickly?
Because I knew the truth. I knew exactly what was going on, what had happened. I saw that this was only going to get worse for Speaker Casada. 2 weeks ago, when Speaker Casada sent us all an email that Kate Cawthorn had resigned, I encouraged Casada to resign at that point in time because I really saw no way that he could survive this. And I suggested at that time he bow out gracefully and resign. He chose not to, and hence what we've had to go through the last 2 weeks.
Just thinking about that point there, his decision to try to ride this out the last few weeks. What has it done to the legislature?
It's created turmoil. I think it has created divisions both within the Republican caucus as well as the legislature. I've served under several speakers. I've been in the legislature for 17 years. And you want to give your Speaker of the House the benefit of the doubt. So you've got folks that have been doing that to their fault, really, that they've followed him as long as they have. But this has created great divisions. Divisions within the Republican caucus, divisions within the Democrat caucus, and divisions within the whole legislature. At this point, we just need to cut our losses and go forward as quickly as possible.
And as best you can, briefly, explain to me what happens now, what could happen now.
Three scenarios I see. You've got when the resignation occurs, Bill Dunn will temporarily assume the speakership. That could continue indefinitely and go throughout the whole two-year assembly, next year included. Bill Dunn could assume the speakership, and it could be on a temporary basis. We could have a special session called sometime later this calendar year and select a new speaker from amongst our members. Or or you could see us wait and come back in January and then us create a vote for a new speaker at that point in time.
Will just have it, everything that's happened the last few weeks, will it be hard for your party to heal and move forward with Glen Casada still present up there and as part of your caucus?
It will be a challenge with him still being a presence in the legislature. There are some wounds that have been opened that only him leaving will close. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Standing here today, you still would encourage him to resign completely?
Yes.
And you say that why?
Again, I think Speaker Casada has set a bad precedent for leadership in the state of Tennessee. I think that we can do better in the state, and we will do better in the state. Talking to something we talked about off camera, I've seen the stories where Speaker Casada is going to wait till he gets back from vacation to set a time frame for him to resign. I think Speaker Casada should resign immediately. As taxpayers, I don't think we need to pay the salary of the speaker for a month longer just because someone wants to leave on their own time frame. I think that as Tennesseans expect us to do our work, they expect someone who's been voted in no confidence in this way that they resign immediately.
Well, he kept it core. And I'm glad he said what he said, because that's a level of arrogance. I'm going to go on vacation, and then when I come back, I'll decide on my own firing. No, you need to go now. Now, I got this little snippet of a video, and this is how his folks got down, and I mean, it's short. It's only 42 seconds, but it's powerful, and it's sweet, and it's real juicy.
All right,
What was the vote?
hang on, but let everybody get settled first, just to be fair to everyone. So the caucus has met for the last several hours, and there was a vote that was taken on whether or not this caucus still has confidence in Speaker Glen Casada. There was a resolution that was presented, it was amended, and at the end of the day, there were 45 members that voted in favor of a resolution stating that they no longer have confidence individually of this speaker. There were 24 members that voted against that resolution. It was taken by a secret ballot. Neither of us know who voted in which category, but those are the results of the resolution. Chairman?
We had 69 of the 73 in attendance today.
Can you repeat the number?
Well, they kept it like that. Let me get rid of that so that won't pop up. So the vote, 45 out, 24 in. Oh my goodness. So this is what you get for covering for your partner. This is exactly what you get. You got the Pimp hand. That's really what you got. That's why I put that title, because the royal family fully understand what went down. Ain't this stuff juicy, my royal family? We watching the enemy fall completely apart. And the other thing, see, this is when I talk about Big Brother, that's all this technology. You know, it done caught up with them. It has. And they using, I remember I had mentioned they using phones that are issued by the government. And they store all of that shit that they exchange. Now they, in their mind, they think they have deleted it. No, you ain't deleted shit. And so what got me was how he tried to play it off when I did the first story. And then this motherfucker is all intertwined. You know, he give off a weird, freaky ass vibe too and shit. But ain't that juicy, my royal family? Real juicy. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.